So I think people can't speak, but if you use the, well, we could just move to the chat. We could just move to the chat function if people just want to type in any comments or questions.
We've got a couple of Q&As as well. I don't know if we've looked at those. Should we have a quick look?
I think there's another open one. Are these policies expensive? No, they're not. It was probably time intensive at the beginning, but no, not really. And you're welcome, to lift sections of mine. Go for it. Copy and paste it.
And so Izzy's asked, any advice for responding to colleagues with strong anti-drugs zero tolerance? But I think my two answers are, lots of universities say they have a zero tolerance, but actually I would ask them, how many students have you expelled for smoking cannabis? Because the answer is generally zero. And so they don't really have a zero tolerance. They just like to say they have a zero tolerance. So I kind of say, well, what do you mean by a zero tolerance? What do you think that means? And then the other thing is evidence-based. If you talk to public health, they will say, if you talk to public health England or public health experts, they will say, of course, you have to have a harm reduction approach. So you've got, that's what the evidence is. It's not flaky. It's not controversial. It makes good public health sense to have a harm reduction approach. Sorry, my dog is barking. How do you manage reputational risk around the launch? Was this minimised by not making a big fanfare about the launch?
Yeah, those are the ones I've already answered, but if you've got extra to add on them.
So what I would say is I've actually tried to make quite a big noise about it because I wanted to tell students, because I think when you talk to students, and if I said to some students, what's UOB's approach to drugs, they probably say, oh, it's zero tolerance and I'll get kicked out. So actually I want to get the message to students that's not what will happen. And yeah, but like I said, you've got to be mindful of your reputation, but then you have your evidence to back up your approach. So we have a big mental health and wellbeing survey, and we ask specific questions about drugs, including alcohol, and we can start to say that this is what students say that they want and say that they need, and what we want to do is keep people safe. And then it's hard to come back at that. We've had 40 years of a sort of just say no to drugs approach and a war on drugs, and it's not worked, and it continues to not work. And once you sort of start to have that conversation with people, usually they can kind of see that. Are there any other questions that I've missed? Is there anything in the chat?
I don't think so, and I've frozen again.
No,
all the quick Q&As have been put through the Q&A function. So yeah, right. If anyone has any further questions that they want to add, please do pop them in the Q&A. Or I think you were saying if there's anything that anyone wanted to share that they've done on their campus, like do pop that one in the chat.
Also, just to say, we're really happy to come and talk to colleagues. I like talking about this. This is the one bit of the COVID year that I've really enjoyed. If you ever want me and Jess to come and talk to your colleagues about what we're doing and why, really happy to be invited to speak to people if it's helpful.
That could be so helpful for universities to bring you guys into the room to to show that other people are doing this and it is possible.
Happy to. I think we've lost Jess completely. She's frozen in time.
It's hard to know whether she's frozen or just sat very still.
She's very thoughtful. She's a very thoughtful woman.
I still hear you.
And actually, I tell you, I think as well, it's been, Jess and I have had fun with this. It's a serious subject, but it's been great to talk to students about this. It's been great to have some good conversations, and we really enjoy the multi-agency drugs group that we run. It's a really interesting, and it's a 2-hour meeting that I actually look forward to, whereas I don't look forward to many 2-hour meetings, because it's a fascinating subject.
that's definitely been the experience of a lot of staff that have been taking part in our drug and alcohol impact programme. And actually they've said it's a nice way to be doing